Hello, YouTube. This is Ewan Spence and ESC Insight calling Echo, 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 as we do our song reviews here on YouTube, which doesn't echo. Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. That's enough of that pun. That's enough. Look, George is sending a song to Eurovision called Echo, and it's getting late in the day, and I have lots of puns to write for every single song, so that's what you get. Iru is singing the song. She once sang a junior Eurovision winning that trophy for Georgia as part of the group Candy. Now it's flying solo, heading to Liverpool. Myself, Laura Crass, and Rita El-Khoury sat down to review the song. Iru, of course, no stranger to the song contest, having entered Junior Eurovision with Georgia as part of Candy Music with the delightfully self-titled song Candy. But of course, slightly older, slightly more mature, bigger sound, this bombastic fill with Echo. Rita.
Let's start from the beginning. Those lyrics. What happened there? What lyric generator ChatGPT mess created this? I will put that a little bit out of the way and try to consider other aspects of the song, even though those take me a little bit away from, the entire proposition of Georgia. So the song starts strong, bam, like it gets going from the first minute. I know there's drama. I know there's something epic coming my way. And it's the drums, the clapping, the evolution of the song is interesting to me. It keeps me hooked. And I wasn't expecting that from Georgia, to be honest. In a way, it reminds me a little bit of Azerbaijan's last couple of songs, Cleopatra and Matahari. That bit, it feels made up. It's very reminiscent of what we heard in those songs, and even the construction of the song and that very dramatic, very mix of so many sound samples happening at the same time. Similarly to those songs, it feels like putting all these sound samples together and all these weird noises together shouldn't make sense, but to me it feels coherent in the end. Like the final product feels coherent musically, not lyrically, obviously, but so that's what it makes me feel. And I know that Iru is a competent singer. I know she can deliver this on stage. The big question, though, is, what do you remember when the song is over? And it feels like it's Eurovision by the numbers in a way. Modern Eurovision by the numbers, not, old Eurovision by the numbers. It feels like the kind of song, if I've been watching Eurovision for the last few years, I sit down and I expect to hear something like this. Something that's mysterious, a little bit a mix of genres, a little disconcerting, something unexpected. And it feels like they're trying to fabricate the unexpectedness in this song. It's a good step for Georgia. It feels like they were talking about coming out and like relaunching their adult Eurovision. I wonder if this is going to qualify. I feel like it could, and it could go either way. It could qualify, it could not qualify. And that's a big question for me.
It does feel like it's one of the songs that's sort of on the bubble of qualification, where if it does, you're just like, yeah. And if it doesn't, you're just like, yeah. I think one of the problems with this song is the selection process that Georgia used. Iru won through the voice, and that gave her the right to the ticket. But it didn't give her the winning song. The winning song was then went away and said, right, we're going to write it now. Now we know who's won. Let's build on that. And as a result, this song feels like it could do with another couple of iterations. And maybe that would just help, just tweak the English just a little bit better to be closer to being perfectly right in the grammar. Although, yes, I am one to talk. But at the same time, all the words there are very easy words for non-English speakers or English as second language, or just learning. It's just like, oh yeah, we know what these words mean. So I don't put so much stress on that. And I love the rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat sort of crash of the vocals. When you take all the words, when you take all the samples and you kind of mix them up a little bit, and it's not perfectly formed. Part of why I like this song is the dirtiness of it. It is raw. It is of the now, but it's of a now that, you know, it's just like, no, go around the block again. It's the bride's not quite ready. Go around the block again. But there are deadlines. There's a contest. It's got to come in. And I think that's the issue. So one of the things to Georgia is start your process a bit earlier. And you do this with Junior. You know, we're already, as we're recording this mid-April, going through the heats in Ranina for the Junior Eurovision selection for Georgia in December. So do that with Adil. Give yourself more time. Let yourself be more creative. Bring a more focused game.
Yeah, I have to agree with Rita, though. I do think this is a good step forward for Georgia, and I'm definitely feeling this is more of contemporary Eurovision's wheelhouse than, for example, Circus Mercus last year, which was obviously split people. Well, most people didn't like it, but it did split people as well. And I do think this is a step forward. Maybe it's stepping forward to a more kind of homogenous song, and we still need, like you say, that slight unusual aspect, which definitely will grab the public vote's attention. But I agree. I enjoy the rhythmic nature of it. It's powerful. It reminds me a bit as well of Russia's Manisha and Russian Woman, with that kind of strong stance. She's got a very strong presence on stage, Iru, and I think she's also got great vocals. So I think she could do pretty well with the jury, I think. For me, I think, though, it's going to be a maybe. I don't think it's quite hitting that top 10 for me. It's still good, but I agree as well with what Rita said. I don't think it's that memorable.
For me, it's a maybe as well. The biggest issue I have with this song is something Ewan alluded to, and it's the fact that the song itself doesn't feel genuine to Iru. We still don't know. She's still a young performer, and we still don't know what her musical career and what her musical style is going to evolve into. But the song feels like it was written in a bubble somewhere and then parachuted to Iru, and she has to sing it. And this disconnect, it could get some votes because musically the song is strong, but it's still a maybe for me. It doesn't get all my interest and doesn't keep me going all the time.
I am so swithering between a miss and a maybe on this one, because I can see the promise in it. I can hear the promise. And, you know, Georgia has done solid staging previously, but they've also kind of missed the occasional time as well. And when they miss bad. And so we have a young artist, but a young artist who has a lot of stage presence and a lot of performance time. Been doing this for 10 years. So at that point, it's just like, you know, you can probably deliver on stage. I don't know what they're going to give you on stage. And I have so many questions. And, you know, where Moldova was like, oh, this is maybe going up to hit because, like, yeah, Moldova's got this. They've done this in the past. I'm not so sure that Georgia have at the adult contest. And it's so weird because they are so good at junior, and then they've never been able to translate that success. I think I shade this down to a miss. Not by much, but it does shade down to a miss. Georgia's Eurovision 2023 song there. You can hopefully look down at the YouTube recommendations list, and it's worked out what song we're talking about, so that's your next click. It gets really awkward if we put the music in here. But there again, when we put this out on the radio, we do that with the podcastradio.co.uk. When we put it out on a podcast, we don't. You can find that at escinsight.com. And if you're just looking to read the articles, reviews, discussions, that's back at our website, escinsight.com as well. Ta-ra for now. You've been listening to the highlights of Jukebox Jury as we preview the Eurovision Song Contest 2023. Find out more and listen to our podcast, www.escinsight.com.